What up, Leaguers? Welcome to the Spectacular Spoil League. I'm the Pandan Superman, the mayor of Hype City, HazyRome, and as always, I'm joined by the God of Night, the Prime Minister of Post-Production, DeepBoyce. And today we're back after a long hiatus with a DC TV weekly one-shot. Now, we're a little bit short-changed compared to usual, all right? This week, it's only Black Lightning. It's only Constantine on Legends of Tomorrow. We're just going to call it Constantine on Tomorrow or something like that. And
Legends of Constantine.
That is a much better name than what I came up with. Thank you. And the debut of SyFy's Krpyton, a.k.a. the show about a planet that nobody cared about until Krpyton debuted. All right, DeepBoyce, man. We got top 5 power rankings on the docket, right?
Yes,
we
sir.
got top 3 bomb asses. We got our episode that's gotta go, our one that's gotta go this week, as well as our one that's gotta stay. DeepBoyce, we're gonna do a conjoined power ranking this week and a conjoined bum ass list this week, just because it's a little bit of a shorter week. That being said, do you know what episodes we're doing this week? Because I don't. We've lost track because it's been so long. It's been like a good 5 weeks since we've done this.
Hold up, I got you. Just give me a second.
Cool beans. Let's do it.
So, okay, we're talking about Black Lightning episode 9. It's called The Book of Little Black Lies.
Oh, damn. Why it gotta be Black Lies, though? All right. The white lies and Hispanic lies feel left out. All right. I see how it is, man.
We're going to talk about episode 15 of Legends of Tomorrow. It's called Necromancing the Stone. I get it. Romancing the Stone. Necromancing the Stone.
That was... Come on, Legends. Come on. Our first riders.
Hey, don't look at me. That's all the Arrowverse right there. That's all CW.
Necromancing the Stone.
They had the stones to go ahead with that one and put it up live on TV. Anyway.
Yeah, you done? You finished? you got the deadpan, all right? That's as low a goal as it goes for you. You got the deadpan.
So,
all right, man.
And we're also talking about the first episode of Krypton, which is just called Pilot, which is, I don't know. I mean, they just never decide to give these first episodes a name. They just call it Pilot.
Never. Pilot.
I mean, if you've already ordered the 10 episodes, give it a name.
Pilot. You know, I never understood that because like you said, if you ordered the 10 episodes, just give it a name. Even if you call it like Krypton or like, I don't know, Seg-El or something like that.
Seg-El begins. I feel like anything DC has the permission to begin with, like Seg-El begins, Superman begins, whatever, etc.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter begins. You can put that as an episode title after we got Batman Begins. I think it just works for pretty much anything.
They could have called it something like Strange Days because Adam Strange pops up. It could have been anything, man. I don't know. Anyway, man.
It's Pilot though. Episode 1, season 1, Pilot.
Pilot. That's
the
Pilot.
Pilot.
What's my
Pilot the Pilot.
All right. Pilot. All right. We're good. Number 5, man. Top 5 power rankings.
Yes.
What do we got up in here, man? What do we got for number 5?
So you got me in a tough spot because I don't know this guy's name, this gentleman's name, but he appeared briefly.
DeepBoyce.
Yes.
DeepBoyce.
Yes.
Call him by what he is, man. His title, Mr.
That ass though.
Guy on Black Lightning.
Yes.
Okay.
If you saw the episode of Black Lightning, Thunder, the oldest daughter of Black Lightning, is making, she's making her presence in the city because she's now going out there. She got the superpower. She's whooping some criminal ass, and she's actually getting a lot of love. And apparently, she's getting more, social media love than her father is. And her younger sister is just like, yo, check this out. People talking about you on the internet. And the first thing she shows her is this remix video of Thunder's biggest fan, the Da Ass, though. Man. over here looking like David Allen Greer in his in this video.
He does look like David Allen Greer. He looks like me when I freaking saw that ass the first time. I was like, I was looking the same way. I was like, yes. I was hype. I was like, yes. Nah. Thunder was tight. Like, oh, no, man want to talk about his girl's ass. I'm here trying to change the world. And he's not talking about butt. And I'm like, listen, Thunder. You even acknowledged it in the episode that you did, girl. You over here ripping out of your cat suit cosplays and whatnot. And you gonna be mad at him for making a video about that ass though. That ass though. I mean, I'm sorry. Listen, it was catchy too. that was one of the best. When I was watching, I was like, I was going in. I was getting hyped for that, man.
I expect that song to hit the charts. So, probably top 10. I mean, listen, if you got it, flaunt it. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed.
Ain't wrong with a cutie patootie booty, man. That's all I'm saying.
and people are also acknowledging the presence and the effect that you have on the streets, and a positive influence, you know, for the young women of color out there within the Black Lightning universe, which there's a lot to talk about there.
In the words of Pregnant or Magnus, that is the only good song that's ever appeared on Black Lightning.
It is. It is. These shows are starting to get kind of bad. I mean, the songs. I mean,
come on, man! You don't like the green light in the thing it's out of sight, and the Black Lightning, man, because he's fighting. You don't like that, man?
Nah, it's not doing it for me. And also that little.
There's a lot of people who actually do like it.
They do.
We talked about it on another a episode we did a while back, and people were commenting like that song was dope. I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, wow, excuse me for having an opinion on the internet.
It's a little too on the nose. Like the beat is one thing, but it's just the lyrics just kind of kill it for me. That's what it is.
You know what? It's too on the nose. The Black Lightning theme song, something, and he was black. Something, Black Lightning is back. Like that theme song, the way it kind of goes into it was hot. Listen, I don't know the words. I don't need to lie. I don't have to lie to enjoy. I don't need to know the words to enjoy the song. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's something. The Black Lightning is back. I like every time that happens, it's like a surprise to me because it's like regular beat music and then transition to that, and I'm like, oh shit, like all right, Black Lightning's back. So, but the other songs, the Green Light song, whatever songs were playing during this episode, and I don't know, it takes me out of it.
They go on for too long. That's the other thing.
That's a good point. Goes on for too long.
They were playing her theme song, and she's over here in slow motion walking, showing off the new suit.
New suit looks good though.
She looks very lovely. You know what I'm saying?
Looks good.
You know,
yeah.
But come on, we gotta wrap it up. We can't.
Yeah, that Dave Chappelle throwback right there. We gotta wrap it up, B. He pulled out the wrap it up box. He's like, wrap it up, B. You gotta wrap it up, B. Anyway, man, let's move on to number 4, man. At number 4, we're moving on to Krpyton, man. We've got Seg-El. Hopefully I pronounced that right. She's the mother of Seg-El. I mean, let's be honest. One, she pulled his ass out of the fire. My man Seg-El was getting himself into trouble like throughout the whole episode, sleeping with Zod's family members and tackling people and punching people.
Nice.
She pulled his ass out of the fire and finally revealed the family secret that there's basically what I would think is this universe's version of the Fortress of Solitude, and it may be possible that for this Fortress of Solitude somehow ends up on Earth in like the future timeline where Superman is at. But they basically introduced like a super like huge Superman, I don't know what to call it, like thing, like that's his thing, is a Fortress of Solitude. Easter egg, there we go. Yeah. And Seg-El was behind it all, and she proved to be like the hero of the El family. You know, after Val-El, Seg-El's grandfather died, Seg-El, I felt like she stepped up and she proved that House El is not gonna take this theocracy, this whole theocracy sham that's going on in Krypton, laying down. She fought back and she paid the price for it. But I think her death in particular, I think maybe motivated Seg-El to be like, yo, I got to figure out what my grandfather Val-El was looking into with this destroyer of worlds, aka Brainiac, who looks phenomenal. We're gonna talk more about that later. But Seg-El at a number 4 spot, man.
Yeah, totally agree. Echo all those sentiments there. Number 4. Carousel.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're probably going to find out more about her and her possible connection with Black Zero.
Yes.
Which
yes.
was a character, but is also
organization.
Yeah, it's a terrorist organization as well.
Right.
And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, we'll have more thoughts on Krypton later on.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. DeepBoyce, you want to hit with number 3?
Number 3 is Anissa, also known as Thunder. Oldest
also known as the inspiration for that ass, yo. You know? No, real talk, man. Go ahead, man. Thunder was dope, man, this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Crime fighting duel, father and daughter. She's got her brand new suit, and she's getting the hang of it right away. There aren't any, I guess, growing pains as you would normally expect from something like this. She's very capable and even showing Black Lightning a thing or two in this episode. And she definitely, I mean, she saved his life at one point towards the end when they went to infiltrate that, I think it was a green light lab. And I think they were also trying to take down not only a dealer, but there was one of the main manufacturers, one of the main chemists of this green light drug. And
one of the dudes, I think he's one of the dudes that worked with Gambi's old organization, the ASA. Yeah. I think so. So, you know, but I mean, Thunder proved pivotal in that situation. And like, not only that, like, you got to be honest, she's shown some mastery over her powers in a relatively short amount of time. Like, she was sort of one-upping her dad in certain situations, like when they were outside of that factory and they couldn't hear what the people were saying. But she was like, all right, this is what's going to happen. We need to go. And, you know, Black Lightning's like, how'd you know? She's like, yo, I had a class in lip reading. So, you know, it's like she already has those fundamentals down. She's like, by the way, like, I'm not, you may think I'm a rookie, but I'm ready for this. And I was like, I like that maturation. Like, yes, she's going to have growing pains because any hero is going to, any beginner is going to have growing pains. Mm-hmm. But I like the fact that they actually made her a little bit more like prepared with what she was doing. And I felt that, you know, the cool thing about Black Lightning is the idea that his daughters both have powers. Mm-hmm. And like, you know, he wants to teach them how to be superheroes so that they could be the next generation of heroes. And I was like, Thunder, I think, you know, really shows that it's worth it. Like, I was worried it was going to be a little corny with the both of them, but her power set is different, which makes it interesting. And also the fact that she's not like just straight up invulnerable. Like, she has to control her breathing. I think that's a good way to do her powers, man.
Yeah, agree.
So I'm 100% with it, man. I'm 100% with Thunder. We'll see how it goes. Costume looks great. Looks a little darker than like the promo images they released, but I'm okay with that. I think it looks way better in motion than I thought it was going to look. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Anyway, man, at number 2.
Yes.
We've got the one and only on Legends of Tomorrow, Legends of Constantine. We've got Constantine himself. Constantine, man, we just heard that Constantine, if Legends gets picked up for season 3, at this point, or this time of us doing the stream, we don't know. Yeah. Season 4, I should say. We don't know whether or not they're going to get a Legends season 4, but we do know that if they do get a Legends season 4, Constantine is going to be a series regular on that show. And like, whenever Constantine is on the show, he like steals the show. And I just love the chemistry he has with the cast, and just the fact that, like, for all intents and purposes, he's very much like comic book Constantine, that he's kind of an asshole. He's kind of an ass. He's kind of a dick, you know. And I just think he was great in this episode. You know, his banter and sort of teasing of Ava, and you know, ultimately coming through in the end. But at the same time, you know, telling Sarah Lance at the end there, like, yo, if Malice would have promised to release that girl I sent to hell by mistake, I would have traded your life in a second. I'm just like, man, yeah, Constantine. Constantine is a vile son of a gun, bro. He's a vile son of a gun, man. But I like it. I like that roguishness about him.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, great addition, and I think we got news before, like you said, we don't know for sure if it's going to be a Legends season 4, but somehow we got news that he's going to be a season regular for the next season.
Yes,
of Legends of Tomorrow. Which I think is nothing but good for the show.
Absolutely.
You know, more time on Constantine and some of the other characters that are interesting, and less time on some of the characters that are kind of wiggity, swiggity.
Like who?
Like your boy Citizen. What's his name? Citizens Spiel. Citizens on Wheels.
You sure you don't mean Citizens on Wheels? Get out of here, bro. Get out of here, Citizens on Wheels. You talking about the main man, the wackadoodle wackadee, your boy Citizen Steel, man. How you forget his name? That's your boy.
That is.
I can't stand. I just feel like he's a carbon copy of Nate, except that he likes his of Ray. Except that I just mixed up the names. See that right there? I just mixed up the names. It's easy peasy. He's a carbon copy of Ray Palmer, and I don't have any interest in that relationship with him and Vixen. I'm just like, I have more interest in Ray and like Damien Dark's daughter, Sarah and Ava, or Sarah and Constantine. Like literally, like almost the only relationship I don't have like more interest in is what we're probably going to talk about a little bit later, and y'all will know when we talking about it. But yeah, I like Constantine. Maybe they'll drop a character at the end of the season because I know that, like, yes, technically they're filling 2 spots because Firestorm was, 2 dudes. But I'm like, that ship's getting crowded, bro. I don't know. I felt there was a problem when there was like both Firestorm characters there, and ironically, when the cast decreased, it suddenly resulted, for us at least, it resulted in the show being somewhat better. I'm not saying that's the reason, but I'm looking forward to Constantine on the team, but I'm worried about that shit, bro. Too many people on there. Just keeping it $150, man.
You're not wrong.
Anyway,
you're not wrong. You gotta get rid of some of the fat, and I mean, we always kind of talk about the same characters, but there are some other characters out there that aren't pulling the weight either. I mean, sometimes Vixen, Heatwave.
Yeah, Vixen. It's funny. It's funny you say that. I want to talk about that a little bit later, though. I do want to talk about it later, but it's funny you say that, like Vixen and like Heatwave. Heatwave, I feel like just like schleps his way through every episode, and like some of the things he says is funny, but I'm like, he's just like, he got a little new 52 upgrade where he's got the fire totem now, so he basically can manifest or like create fire.
Yeah.
So like that's cool, but like I'm like, Heatwave has sort of been like, he's been dragging his feet a little bit, and Vixen, I don't think this on my version as Vixen has been stronger than like what I had seen. Like I don't think at any point I felt she was stronger than what I had seen from the present day Arrowverse Vixen.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, it's a little bit lackluster, man. Like I'm not interested in her and her granddaughter. Not interested in that storyline at all. And I don't know, I'm just not buying it. Just not buying it. And Zari had a good episode where she had that little Groundhog Day episode. That was cool. Agreed. But I'm not really hot on Zari either. Yeah. I think she's good as an actress, but I'm not too hot on like the character and her role on the team.
It's a lot of time there where she wasn't really doing much of anything. Too much time. She was just there to have a scene where they go into a room and she's like, "Oh, I'm playing PlayStation." I'm like, what?
Yeah. And now her and part of her job now is to be like, "Wally, don't!" And then he runs off. But the idea of the totems, I think, has sort of allowed Legends to be a little bit more tight knit. Like it allowed them to sort of get their story together and be a little bit more coherent with their storylines. Because Legends has been good lately, but Constantine, I think is a good addition. Whether or not it becomes the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of like how many characters they have and whether or not the chemistry is good, I don't know. Yeah. And they may even ruin Constantine. I hate to say it, but it's possible.
It's possible.
We've seen that before with Arrowverse. We're like, hey, we want more of this character. They're like, okay, here it goes. We're just going to dump some doo-doo on him for you, and here you go. It's like, I don't know, man. Anyway, excuse me, guys. I'm kind of sick, so I apologize for that. But DeepBoyce, hit us with number 1, man. Number 1 on the top 5 power rankings for this week. Who we got?
This is a bit of an abstract idea, but we gave
just
it number 1.
Just say it, man. Don't worry about abstract because it's true, man.
The number 1 spot is the production value on the show Krypton.
Yes, it's better than your one where you were like all of the love.
Listen,
he was like, "Oh, my number 5 for this week is all of the love that I've seen between all these characters." Like,
because it was baller.
The production values on Krypton is a viable number 1 because Krypton looks fantastic. Case closed.
It does.
It looks great.
It
looks great. It like, and we're talking about like visually, like the city of Kandor, the architect. All right, okay. Case in point of how good this looks, right? Mm-hmm. Let's take another alien show from recently.
Uh-oh.
Let's take Inhumans. Dude. The best part about this is all I said was Inhumans, y'all.
I didn't expect
That's
that.
all I said. All I said Inhumans, my man said, yeah, he bust out that. Done. All I said was Inhumans. Let's take a look at Inhumans and look at like how like terrible like the design for like the city of Adelan look and like the costume design.
It looked like painted styrofoam. So it looked
like. Son, every single close-up of like the architecture on Adelan looked like a close-up of a Lego piece. Or it looked like a close-up of like the Star Destroyers from Star Wars. Like, and they just all look like these drab, bland things. And like, yes, Krypton, the planet looks bland, but that's because Krypton is dying, and like half the planet is actually bathed in like red sunlight, and the other half like is not. That's why it looks like that.
Yeah.
But Krypton itself, like the towers, the skyline, it looks amazing. And like inside the buildings and inside the different locations and areas, like it looks phenomenal. Like when you're in the area where the Rankless are, right? You see like Kryptonian graffiti. Like that's clever. Like that's an interesting like addition to like that bar area. When you're in the higher areas where like the what do you call them? The clans? I don't know what they refer to themselves as. The guilds. The guild. Where like the Science Guild is, you know, or the military guild is. Like they all have a unique sort of design to them. Even the costumes have a unique design to them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all leather based, but like this has shown that this is and this is a fact. Like this is the biggest budget ever for a sci-fi TV show. Not science fiction. I mean, sci-fi channel TV show. And it shows, man. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is how sci-fi has been doing their thing in general as of late with other shows.
I don't know about that. I just know this is the show with the biggest production budget. So
okay. Well,
I've seen previous sci-fi shows and they don't look that good. Trust me.
Okay. They
do not look that good. I mean, Sharknado, that whole series is sci-fi.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's not go down that road, bro.
But this it looks good as someone who, you know, I'm kind of a fan of sci-fi shows, not the channel sci-fi, but science fiction shows. I was really digging the vibe and the aesthetic of it.
Definitely.
You know, I mean, we'll talk more about what we thought about that first episode, but I like how it translated from the first part of Man of Steel, which I also liked. That's something I've never really seen out of Superman or any type of Superman property. Just that whole like sci-fi just beginning where they're on Krypton at the beginning of that movie. I like how they're taking from that and they're really extrapolating it and making it to a whole show. And you're right, exteriors, interiors, whether it's the spires, you see nice vistas you see of the city by day, by night, or when that scene when they're flying over to the Fortress of Solitude and you see the ruins there. I was like, this is well done.
That's what sold me. What sold me when I saw the aircraft, and I was like first when the aircraft arrived, and then they cut to him jumping in. I was like, oh, they're gonna. I was like, nah, I see they bullshitting me with the graphics here because they just showing like a pod. They just showing like an inner like seating area, but then they actually zoomed out and showed the ship like rise up and fly off. And I was like, I was impressed because there was one thing I told you when we first talked about Krypton. I was like, yo, that production value though on sci-fi, that's not a good look for no planetary stuff, dude. Like even when we were talking about like some of the characters, we did a video like top 10 like DC characters or something like that could be on Krypton, and we were talking to each other like, man, we got to remember the budget. Like some of this stuff is probably not going to be able to happen, but Brainiac looks phenomenal.
And his ship looked badass. I like how it looked like a decaying corpse or something. Flying through space. I was like, wow, that looks cool.
That was dope, man. That was dope, man.
And they showed interiors of it where you had all the cities that he put in the globes. I was like, wow.
Yes.
Nice touch.
Yes. Yes. Speaking of which, where they had the genetic, like the little baby pods, man, where the babies were growing, looked phenomenal too, man. Yeah. So, you know, I was really impressed by the production value of this. And I think that deserves to be #1 because, to be honest with you, I'm not necessarily sold on Krypton per se yet, but that made me take the show a little bit more seriously. Because let's be honest, guys. When the CG for a show is bad, it takes you completely out of it. Like sometimes, like when Supergirl does some like action scenes, I'm just like, because it looks bad sometimes. You're just like, man, I can't look at this, man. It just takes you out of it. But Predator Magnus said, one thing, I guess one peeve he has is that Superman and Jor-El are not from Kandor. Predator Magnus. Does anyone they're from Krypton, dogs. It doesn't matter what city they're from, man. Like that's not gonna make or break this show, man.
And it's Seg-El. Jor-El is not in this. Or
that's a good point.
Or Kal-El. Like you can move. It's like
that's a good point.
From Philadelphia to New York or vice versa.
That's a great point. That's a great point. But like that to me, that's like a minute detail, to be honest with you. Like I don't think like Krypton is Krypton. It's not like Kandor makes. I don't feel like Kandor, yes, it's the bottled city, but the L's don't necessarily have to be there when it becomes a bottled city. Like I don't feel like that's let's not get to the point where we start nitpicking. and Predator Magnus, his rebuttal to me is, hey man, if they took Batman out of Gotham, how would you feel? You trying to compare where Superman's dad is from to where Batman is from. Just look at your equivocation there, son. Batman is from Gotham. Superman is from Metropolis. We're not talking about where those heroes stay. We're talking about where they're where Jor-El and his grandfather stay. Like two minor characters in DC lore. It's not the same thing.
All you gotta know is Krypton.
But nice equivocation there. Nice try.
Krypton blew up. So a city's as long as it looks sci-fi, it looks like Krypton.
Nobody's out here. I mean, nobody's out here getting upset about Kryptonian accuracy here. It's not like they put him on Thanagar or something. It was like, hey, Seg-El's Thanagarian now. He's Kryptonian. That's really all that matters. Let's not be those fanboys we're all fans of comics here, but let's not be those guys who nitpick about little things, man. We nitpick already, as is. Yeah. Let's not ruin this. We got a good thing here. Jeff Johns is running this. We could see some Green Lanterns. Let's not do this, man. Don't do it.
And it's 10 episodes. I think that's a good length as well, for sure.
Yes. Yes. Hi, Superhero 2.0. How you doing? Gracia says, I like that name. I think that it being Superman's grandfather is too close in time to the destruction of Krypton. We're talking about 200 years before Krypton gets destroyed or something like that. I know that I know 200 years has been floating around. It's either before Krypton gets destroyed or before Kal-El becomes Superman on Earth. 200 years is a long time. That's a lot to happen. That's a long time for things to happen. That's a long time.
And I think they'll be dealing with, the end, kind of giving us more information as to what led to the end of Krypton. And also, they made it very clear with Adam Strange. He kind of showed him the cape, and it's has that Back to the Future type of disintegrating effect as the past is being altered. That things may not be as what you would expect. And I'm not most knowledgeable on Superman, so I don't know how much we know about even these characters here or Jor-El or Krypton, but it seems like they're creating new things as they go along here.
I think Seg-El is actually a completely new character created for the show, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they've gone so far as to name his grandfather. I could be wrong about that, but certainly his lore hasn't been fleshed out if he is a character. Sorry guys, I'm sort of losing my voice because I have a cold, but
it's fine.
Anyway, we got Predator Magnus. He said he's willing to die on this flag about we got to troll everybody.
I mean, if you can give us a 20-page dissertation, we'll look through it, we'll read it, and then we'll come back to it on the significance of Kandor City being the stomping grounds of Seg-El and the where this show takes place and how that takes away and that ruins the Superman experience for viewers. Hey, if you can change your mind, change your mind. I'll admit, I don't know I got everything about Superman. I mean, I know the basics. I probably know a little something, but I don't know anything about Seg-El.
There's a difference between not knowing about Superman and not caring about Superman.
I mean,
that's blasphemous to say, but we honestly are not the biggest Superman fans.
I did say this is the most I've been interested in Superman in a long time. Because it's world building, character building. This is interesting to me.
So do we have any hope for that Metropolis show?
Oh, God. As long as it's
Lex Luthor and Lois Lane, baby, before Superman. Come on, man. Come on, baby.
But wait,
that's what we've been waiting for, man.
Lois Lane was born and raised in Metropolis, because that might take me out of the show.
Why?
If she's not from Metropolis,
I guess so. I don't know.
I'm just saying that's like taking Batman out of Gotham.
Oh. Dad, you took me on a. It took me a second to realize what you were doing there. Yeah, man. You're a fool, bro. It took me a second. I was like, "What are you talking about?" That would totally break the immersion of Metropolis for me, sir. Lois Lane has got to be, and she has to work at the Daily Planet only. She can't have any other jobs. That would break the immersion for me.
Yeah, that shows. I mean, I don't want to be negative. I want everything to be good, but that shows a bad idea, in my opinion.
That's a bad idea, bro. Like Gotham, people compare like, hey, what about Gotham? I'm like, what about Gotham made it. First of all, we're not huge fans of Gotham either. I'll put that out there right now, sir. That's a flag I'm willing to die on. Okay, not a big fans of Gotham, but at least with Gotham, they said from the jump, this is gonna be a show about the villains. Metropolis has never been interested in terms of the villains. Never. Gotham's, like, Batman's Rose Gallery is dope. Superman's Rose Gallery is meh.
It's so interesting when they're going up against Superman, in my opinion.
And it may be even not that. Because, let's be honest, like, who we got? Like, Superman's Rose Gallery is what? Lex Luthor.
I'm trying to...
Luthor, Brainiac.
I thought of the Eradicator, but he's not going to be on Earth. What's the name of that guy that
Parasite.
Parasite. But
Parasite.
I mean,
Toyman.
Mr. Mixelpidlick.
Mixter. He's the whole thing about Gotham. I mean, come on, dude. Now you're pulling things out of your booty cheeks, bro. Come on, man. And Livewire, yeah, AMJ hits with Livewire, but that's a Supergirl villain now, according to the Arrowverse. So that's a whole nother problem I have altogether. Where Supergirl, I feel like, is just like the woman version of Clark Kent in the Arrowverse, and I feel like that's a disservice to Supergirl. But we got Metallo, Oz, and Zod. Yeah, but how interesting are those guys? Like Boy said, how interesting are those guys when Superman ain't there? Like Zod just walk, like Metropolis episode 13, Zod just walking up to random humans. Neil, I say, Neil. I wish there were some Kryptonian out there who would be willing to stand up to me.
The episode's 2 minutes, and he's just like, "Is Kal-El here? Who's Kal-El?
Kal!
He's not here."
He starts screaming, "I will find him! I will find him!" Like in Man of Steel, "I will find him! I will find him! I will find him!" I was like, "Damn, man!" I was like, "How many times you gonna say that, dogs?" Like I was like, we heard you the first time, my man.
And I got a question. Now you mentioned Zod, because in the movies, I realized that they made him Nazi-ish. It was kind of pro-eugenics, where he wanted to purify the bloodlines or the genetics or something like that. I remember he said a line of that in Man of Steel. Is that canon? Was that like in the Richard Donner Superman? Because I haven't seen it in the longest time. Because I know that they're kind of taking that theme and they're running with it in Krypton now. Well,
I'll tell you right now. Don't even take like Richard Donner Superman is not even canon because your man Superman was flying in reverse, like in the opposite direction that the Earth spins and turns back time.
That's an iconic scene right there.
That's an icrapic scene right there, bro. That was
the only.
Even as a kid,
scene,
I was like,
the only scene that tops that is the Martha scene. Thank you, Zack Snyder. But that Richard Donner Superman reversing time by flying around the Earth. It's iconic, Hazy. Come on, you can't hate on that. Come on.
First of all, Martha scene was garbage. Second of all, flying around scene, also garbage. But I mean, that eugenics thing, you know, I'm not sure where that came from, to be honest with you, man. But he was definitely always like militaristic and always like Predator Magnus says, he was definitely always authoritarian. Yeah.
And you're seeing
I don't know about the eugenics thing though.
You're seeing that here with the Sagittarii, whatever they're called. Basically the military branch, at least in Kandor City, led by the Zods.
Yeah. Definitely seeing some of that. I mean, right now Krypton's it's a theocracy, but they're like a militarized theocracy, and that's a little scary because I mean, you see how people are being treated there, and that's with the planet literally on the brink of destruction, according to what we know. Even though the show's creators are trying to tease it and be like, "Hey, there's a different timeline. Anything can happen." Oh, actually, y'all tell me Krypton's not gonna blow up. Y'all tell me y'all not gonna blow up Krypton and send Superman to Earth? That what y'all trying to tell me? I don't buy that for a second. All right, maybe Kandor survives, but Kandor is probably gonna survive. But
I think Argo City survives in the comics.
I think is. But I thought Argo City was actually on like a nearby planet to Krypton.
I'm not sure
because Supergirl and I know in a continuity, Supergirl is not actually Kryptonian. She's like Argonian or something like that. Yeah, something along those lines. Like she's from like the nearby like moon or like sister planet, something along those lines. I don't remember what it is, but there's been so many different continuities because there's continuity where she's Kryptonian as well. So, but anyway,
I mean that's DC in general.
yeah, that's comics. That's comics. You know. But anyway, guys. Let's go over to the bum asses this week.
Let's do it up. And yeah, Stepful, we might talk about that. That was
we might talk about some Black Lightning confirmations in terms of some characters that exist in that universe. But anyway, let's go to the bum asses this week, man. DeepBoyce, what we got at number 3, man?
Number 3, we've got these trifling ass Kryptonians, the Kryptonian Council, led by Darren Vex, sentence Val-El to death. I'm not... Now, was that like... Did he throw him in the negative zone, or what was that exactly? I don't know if they explained it on the show.
I mean...
They opened up a portal, and then he walked off a plank, and then they like closed up... Like something happened, and he fell.
They didn't open a portal. There's
it's a shield. Like a shield.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
There's a shield around the city to protect it from the environmental elements, and they basically put him on a platform outside the shield and then dropped his ass. I almost expected for a hot second. I'm like, damn, like what if he found out how to like harness the red sun power or some random and start flying up? But my man ain't fly off, man. He dropped like a rock.
I was tight because if anyone watches Game of Thrones, I forget the actor's name. He plays Barristan Selmy. He's dope. He's a dope character in Game of Thrones, and we saw him just a little bit in this, and he gets killed fighting for what's right, because these Kryptonians they're getting manipulated by this religious entity. What's his name? The Many Faces of Ra? Is that what it's called?
The Voice of Ra.
The Voice of Ra.
The Voice of Ra. Yep.
Out here looking like the Living Tribunal with his. He's got like 4 or 5 faces on his mask. Kind of a cool like design. Again, very sci-fi.
I like the design. I do.
But these Kryptonians, it's clear that they've put themselves in a very bad position. They don't realize it, because they also talk about how Kryptonians, I guess part of the religion is that there's nothing else in the universe. That only Krypton exists, and that's the only place we can find life. And obviously, for a race that used to be, that is technologically advanced and probably used to go out into space and explore the galaxy, that's a huge step backwards.
Yeah.
And then they have a caste system. I mean, it's all sorts of jacked up in Krypton right now.
Yeah. Just to clarify, I looked it up real quick. Supergirl generally is from Krypton, and Argo is a city on Krypton. We had Elijah Colbert in the chat actually tell us that, but thank you for that. I think I'm confused with like that whack ass Supergirl movie, but anyway, Darren Vex, like out here persecuting my man Val-El, But Val-El holding it down though with that Fortress of Solitude creation. But Darren Vex is also kind of a moron because I'm like, dude, you're over here trying to manipulate people, but like, if there's one thing that you shouldn't do is like give a man a reason to like hate you. Like you killed that dude's grandfather, Seg-El's grandfather. You're responsible. I mean, you didn't kill him, but you're responsible for the deaths of his parents. A man can only take so much, my man.
Yeah, I don't know what
you're pushing him over the edge.
And you want him to join your family?
He wants to join the family because he's hoping to find where Val-El's secret fortress is. I'm like, you would be better off like capturing them and torturing the shit out of him instead of like getting him to trust you. Because I'm like, that you're doing the opposite of that. You've been doing the opposite of that since he was a kid. Like, make him hate you, if anything. Like, be the face of the person who's ruined his life, essentially. Yeah. So, you know, I was like, I'm a little like Darren Vex. I'm like, we're gonna need to work on your plan a little bit, my man. But anyway, man. Speaking of people who we need to work on, man, we need to work on number 2 on the bum ass list, Wally West. Bro, Wally West. I don't know where to start with that character. I have so many issues with Wally West in the Arrowverse, but for starters, that Jesse relationship is not something to bank on. Why? Listen, there's a death totem, correct?
Yeah.
Death totem, right? Mm-hmm. Control spirits. And even if it wasn't spirits that they were, you know, making people see, you know, make those hallucinations, maybe even if it wasn't just dead people, instead of showing Wally West Jesse, why don't you show him his dead mother?
True.
Duh. Like, that was so easy. But instead, you just have a needless cameo by Violet Bean, although I'm happy to see Violet Bean, you know what I'm saying? But Wally West, Violet Bean's a very beautiful woman. I'm just saying. When I see Violet Bean, I'm like, oh, it's like the gates of heaven over. I'm like, man, she's also like great at Jesse Quick. Like, I actually like Jesse Quick better than Wally West.
Yeah.
I think she's a phenomenal actress and I like her. But they wasted a Violet Bean cameo and for no reason. And no one, like, there's not a single person out there that cares about this Wally West Jesse relationship because it has zero foundation. Like, even when I remember when he told her I love you, I was like, what? Like, how, y'all? And they specifically started the episode by showing you the past like episode where he's like, oh, I love you. And I'm like, don't bring this relationship in it. Don't bring this relationship into this, man. And he's like, you're not real. And then she starts going in on him and he's like, listen, you missed out on something good here. Okay, you left me. Okay. And I'm gonna find someone who's gonna love me. I was like, Wally, this show's supposed to save you, man. Man, bro, Wally's just some poo-poo foo-foo right now, man.
Listen, because when Rip Hunter found him, Wally was so heartbroken that my man had to travel to like China or somewhere.
Tibet.
He was at a Buddhist temple. He traveled to a different continent, I guess, to find his inner Zen. That's how heartbroken he was. I mean, look, feel the same way about the same way you do about Violet Bean hazing. I agree, but come on, Wally. Come on,
my man, son. She wasn't even real, and you clearly knew this. Like, I love it. Like, some of the other people, and I had problems with some of the other people and them thinking that their hallucinations were real. Mm-hmm. Like, in particular, Citizen Steel. he missed this list. Missed this list by a hair for his.
It was real enough to deck him in the face.
My man, no. DeepBoyce, don't buy this man out. Because
I'm just saying, if that's family,
is like grandpa.
If that's family and he decks you, I mean, obviously you might have, you might be reticent to do something. You'll be shocked.
Son,
this person you look up to and you based everything that you've done off of your grandfather was a great hero.
Shocked ain't gonna let me get my ass beat by something I know is a hallucination.
He should have at least turned into steel. Does he not do that anymore?
My man was like, he was like, grandpa? And he was like, hey there, disappointment. I don't think you're living up to the family legacy. And your girlfriend, you don't deserve her. And my man was like, punched him in the face. And then when he got punched, he was just like, and just took all the punches. I was like, son, he's punching you and in the face. He just punched you and like, you're not, he literally didn't do it. He didn't even try to fight back. Like, oh, like bounce back. He was just like, he just took it. I was like, Citizen Steel, get your bum ass out of here. But Wally West, Get your bum ass back here so we can put you back on the list. That was whack. I'm tired of whack portrayal of Wally West. And he's so like something is wrong with what they're giving him or how he's acting. Because even when he says lines, it's like, is this worse than Flashpoint? Because I'm just like if you could watching this in the comments, like somebody vouch for me, like tell me I'm not crazy. I feel like Wally West is so lackluster. It's bad, dude, and I want Wally West to be good. That's the thing that annoys me. I'm like, I like Wally West. I want him to be dope, but I just feel like he's just not.
Yeah.
Hey, Boyce is done with me. He's like, yeah.
No. I mean,
yeah. You got nothing. You got nothing to say because it's true.
I agree, and I've kind of I've gotten past the point where it bothers me. It's just like, well, whatever, Wally West.
That bothered me. That scene bothered me.
That did bother me, but just like Wally West in general, it's like I've already kind of accepted that I'll be super disappointed.
Joe West done popped out 2 annoying kids and raised the third. I'm looking at you, Barry. They all those Flash cats are annoying me right now. Let's not even talk about Flash because we'll never go to sleep tonight. We will not go to sleep tonight with the problems I have with the Flash, man. But anyway, DeepBoyce, man. Let's go. Let's move on to our number one choice for this week, man. Number one bum ass of the week. Who we got, man?
Bebo. Simply put, anytime Bebo appears in any way, shape, or form, whether he's a Viking god, on some store shelf, or as he was in this episode of Legends of Tomorrow, on some goddamn socks, looking all crusty, he's automatically a bum ass. And this week he deserved to be the number one bum ass because they caught me off guard. Like I got caught off guard twice in the Arrowverse. One, it was the "Dat Ass Though" song, which that cracked me up because I didn't expect him to. That Black Lightning's kind of serious, and they came out of nowhere with that. And out of nowhere, on the other hand, is Legends of Tomorrow. And I guess I should have saw it coming because they were talking about Bebo right before they show these goddamn socks. They gotta stop.
They're pushing the joke so far that it's like they're forcing you to make it funny because it's like an Arrowverse joke. That's not even like Legends because someone else made a reference to Bebo as well.
Yeah.
On one of the other shows. So it's like they're trying to make it like the inside joke of the Arrowverse, and I'm like, Bebo was whack. And it just makes you remember that whack episode. That episode was like Legends has been night and day. When you think about like how it was back then, like earlier, this is the same season we're talking about. Like Legends was not, we were hating Legends at the beginning of season 3. But what happened? They found focus by focusing on the totems. Focus on the totems. Don't focus on Bebo.
Nope.
We don't care about Bebo. That's like I don't even care about the jokes. I don't see the jokes. I don't want to see Bebo. Get it out. No, it wasn't funny. I don't care. Get out. I'm sorry.
No, they got
Put those socks in the trash. Put the socks in. What's that guy's name? The dude that was wearing the socks. What's his name?
Agent Bumass.
Agent Bumass. That's what we're gonna call him. Get his ass out of here too.
My man was stuck in a trash compactor in the Groundhog's Day episode. But that I mean, Bebo's in the Bum Ass Hall of Fame alongside Jimmy Olsen and Citizen Steel.
Yes, dude. He is certainly in the bum ass. Citizen Steel wasn't even on a bum ass list, and somehow he got dragged. I ended up dragging him on this episode. To drag his ass too. Freaking somebody said, I like how somebody's trying to like vouch for me, like vouch for Iris. Like, wait, Iris is going back to reporting, so like she's automatically a good character now. I shouldn't say that. Iris isn't a bad character. I just hate how they treat her character sometimes. I'm glad she's going back to being a journalist because that's what I've been asking for the whole season. I'm like, what happened to her storyline? What happened to her, like her track, like her what she wanted to do? And I'm like, dang, they didn't even give her a job. She's back to writing a blog. I'm like, dang. She's like, yo, I must continue my dream, bro. I have to be a Twitch streamer for 3 viewers a week. I'm like, come on, man. I'm just like, man, come on, man. Anyway, DeepBoyce, bum asses are done. It's time for one that's got to go. The episode this week that's got to go.
This was a tough choice. This is a tough choice because I feel like I might contradict myself here. I don't even know where to start. Okay, I guess my one that's got to go is going to be the pilot episode of Krypton.
Yep. That's my one that's got to go too, man. I hate you sometimes, man. You be stealing my, stealing my thunder, man. I wanted that, man.
Here's the thing. Here's the reason I feel I'm contradicting myself, because when Black Lightning started, I gave it a pass because I said this is the first couple episodes. I kind of want to see how the story plays off, how it keeps developing, and I gave it a couple passes because of that. So I feel like I'm kind of contradicting myself. But given that we only have 3 episodes, I'm sure if the Flash was on, it probably would have been the one that's got to go. Good that we had 3 episodes, and that's not to knock the episode of Krypton. I thought it was solid. I thought it was a solid start. It wasn't perfect, but I wasn't I'm not entirely interested in Seg-El. I'm not gonna say that he's a bad character yet, but I guess it was just something about the pacing of the episode that was kind of off for me. The beginning bar fight scene. Then you do get some time with the family, but then they die, and when they died, I didn't really feel for Seg-El. I was really more interested. I was digging the vibes of the show, the way it looked. How it was a little darker in theme, and a lot of Easter eggs that they threw in there. Yeah, but this definitely. I guess this definitely did seem like a pilot, or like something like. It would have made more sense if it were like a 20-minute short for the first episode to kind of get you like an introduction to what's going on here, and then bam, the season actually starts with the next episode, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, for me, Krypton was the one that's got to go likewise. I'm not saying Seg-El was bad, but there was something about his portrayal that I was like, not feeling so much, man. But what do you think about the other characters real quick? What do you think about the other characters? Well, let's see. I kind of was interested in the Zod family. I guess what they had going on was, I don't know, to me it was kind of new. And knowing where they end up, or at least the character that kind of is the legacy of that family, kind of had me a little bit more interested in seeing how they're intertwined. You can kind of see that the matriarch of the Zod family, I'm kind of forgetting her name at this point, she seems a little conflicted. At first I thought she was going to be a bit of a hard ass because she stabbed her daughter in the hand. They were on here doing some kung fu. But she doesn't entirely hate Seg-El. And I think, I guess as a mother and having a daughter, she probably understands what it's like being that age and being in love with somebody. You know, and I could see that she's going to be torn with, kind of giving Seg-El a pass and doing her duty, especially during these times where it's like, you break simple laws and you die. You get thrown out into the boards of the city. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I think Darren Vex, he's definitely a bum ass, but I think they set him up well. I'm interested in seeing how he'll continue to fumble. His daughter is also kind of interesting. I can't really say much, but she's definitely an evil character.
She definitely got some ulterior motives.
She's duplicitous. There's something else going on. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the type of character that doesn't give a damn about the voice of Ra, the religion, or how the established order is. She's very selfish, I'm assuming. She's going to be looking out for herself and probably doesn't give a damn about her, the Vex family, the Vex guild.
And then her name is Anissa Vex, by the way.
Anissa Vex.
Excuse me, guys.
They probably should try with a different name, though. We got Anissa someplace else. But
we got Anissa Al Ghul out there.
Regardless, I think when I got interested was when they went to the Fortress of Solitude. And then, subsequently the parents died, and then he met up with Adam Strange again, and he showed him the cape. And then you saw Brainiac for a brief bit, and you also saw a ship as well. That's when they really kind of put all the building blocks together. That's when I was like, okay, this is... I want the show to really be about this. I guess... As I'm thinking about it, what the show kind of failed, at least in this first episode for me, were the in-between moments, because I guess all shows kind of have that, the in-between moments where you have character interactions and you're supposed to, it's like as an audience, you ingratiate yourself with the characters, because it's like you're spending time, quote unquote, with the characters, seeing them do, go to lunch or have a dinner with the family or get mugged in the alleyway or whatever the heck, just everyday stuff. And that wasn't really all that interesting to me in this episode. But I'm surprised, like, again, when we talked about this way back in the day, and we started hearing news about it and seeing screenshots, and I was like, wow, I'm actually somewhat interested in this. And I'm still interested. I want to see where it goes.
I'm still interested. I just don't think it was as solid as the other shows this week. Case in point.
Yeah.
Or case closed, I should say. I think that with the character building. By the way, Jaina, I think her name is Jaina Zod. That's the name of Lita Zod's mom.
Yeah.
Or Lita Zod. I think that's how they pronounce it. Everyone's got British accents, so I can't understand like half the show. I'm not even lying. I'm not even kidding. Like part of the show, I don't understand what they're saying because they're like, British Tim. Just like, it's like there's something about like the way they seem. It's like I can't. Everything goes on for like an extra second. It's like Lita Zod. It's like everything is like, Seg-El. Like something is always like enunciated a little bit more, so it's a little bit tough for me to understand sometimes. But, but I love British people. I'm not trying to hate on British people. My bad. Anybody take offense to that, but
listen, what if Haley Atwell's listening to this, Hazy? Come on.
Listen, if Haley Atwell's out there, I'll give you my heart, girl. I'm sorry. But nah, I mean, I think that the show had a good start. It's just that there's something about the first episode. I feel like I couldn't really draw close to any of the characters. So the thing that sort of intrigued me the most is the novelty of the world, the intrigue of wanting to learn more about the world and what the overall story arc is going to be for Seg-El, and the premise, which is at one point the House of El line almost ended, but this is about how like your grandfather or Cal's grandfather saved it. So I'm just not necessarily invested in Seg-El because I felt like the whole introduction is him being like, hey, I'm basically fighting people randomly just because I'm a roguish character. That's like so stereotypical. It's been done so many times. Like, hey, I'm gonna pick a fight with guys who are tougher than me and either win or lose, but still gonna look like the cool guy in the situation. It's like been done. You know what I mean? It's been done before.
It's such a, you see it in a lot of fantasy sci-fi.
It's like, cliche. It's cliche for the rogue character to be getting his ass kicked at the beginning when you see him. Like, it's a little cliche.
It reminds me of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. That's how they introduced Kirk. He's out here
absolutely
ass kicked in a bar.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that.
But that movie was good. So that's not to say that, Krypton is bad. It's just it wasn't as strong as the other shows this week. Personally, I think the other shows deserve credit for continuing to fire on all cylinders. Black Lightning has pretty much been firing on all cylinders, and Legends has really stepped up, man, which, let me just say, let's transition into one that's got to stay this week. What's the one that's got to stay for you, man?
I'm going to have to go with Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow. While I can't deny, Black Lightning has been solid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it is that hasn't... Like, I feel like there's a missing element to the show. So I guess like
I'm gonna need you to identify it, bro. I need something.
No, I'm saying I think it's the overall arc of the season. Like, what is it exactly? Like, what's the big game here that we're playing at? You know what I mean? It's definitely like, I think it's great at the interpersonal relationships, and the history that these characters have with each other. But I'm wondering like what's the big threat here? Is it Tobias Whale? Is it that other kind of criminal organization that he's a part of? Like, what are we getting at exactly? I mean, it's I guess a crutch of this type of genre. Like almost every type of superhero show or movie or whatever has to have like a big payoff. That's just kind of part of the genre. And with Black Lightning, when I watch, sometimes I'm wondering like, okay, where is this leading to? Like, what's going to happen at the end of it all?
I feel like they've already revealed that. It's just that like it's hard to put a face behind it. I think it's the ASA, because I think the ASA, they revealed that the ASA is behind a bunch of power people. We found on this episode that like they're storing the power people that like Gambi helped capture like way back in the past, like many years ago.
Yeah.
They're storing them on site, and we know Tobias Well was working under Lady Eve's thumb, but now he got Lady Eve eliminated, so his ascent to power within this organization that's probably controlled by the ASA. I think it's there. It's just I think the issue is, or the I don't call it an issue. I think what it is that like Tobias Well has been the focus, and then they stopped focusing on Tobias Well because let's be honest, Tobias Well hasn't been that strong except for a couple like one-liners that he's had. Like he's a beast, and he's definitely like aggressive, and that's cool. But like he hasn't shown much more than that. And now they shifted over to the ASA thing. Like that's one thing I will say. Like after that whole Gambi like reveal to Jefferson, I felt like this episode was a little bit flatter compared to like this whole bomb drop where Gambi's like, yo, by the way, I work for the secret organization and I'm responsible for your father getting killed. You know, so Gambi's storyline to me was the most interesting with him discovering that like, yo, there's mad powered people in Freeland, which also is interesting for the whole DC world at large. Yeah. So, you know, for me personally, Black Lightning isn't my one that's got to stay this week. It's also Legends, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. But I think Black Lightning has been solid with what they've been doing personally. Yeah. But what I will say is like Black Lightning is also doing something dope with the idea of like those powered metahumans being out there. So like there could be a whole world of powered metahumans via Green Light, similar to like Green Light or the predecessor to Green Light, I should say, whatever that like experimental drug was, is like there is like this Earth's version of like the particle accelerator. Like this could be, you know, something that gives birth to a bunch of powered people in Freeland. Additionally, them acknowledging that Vixen and Supergirl exist in their universe was really interesting because in the Flash and Arrow universe, like Supergirl and Vixen are not on the same universe. Vixen is there, but not Supergirl. So in Black Lightning, Supergirl and Vixen are there, which is interesting.
So what Earth is Supergirl again?
Supergirl's like Earth 30 something, Earth 39 or something like that.
So Supergirl and Black Lightning, they're in the same universe.
No, they're not necessarily. Not necessarily.
So how do they know of them? I guess is my question.
There could be another
another Supergirl, like an alternate Supergirl. Gotcha.
Yes, it doesn't have to be the Supergirl in the Arrowverse. It could be a Supergirl. But the bottom line is there's a Supergirl and a Vixen. The Earth 38. Thank you, Elijah Colbert. That's where Supergirl's from. Earth 38. The point of being is that there is a Supergirl and a Vixen on his planet, on his Earth. Versus like Supergirl's Earth. We don't know if there's a Vixen there, but she's never acknowledged it. And it seems like she doesn't know of a Green Arrow on her Earth. Yeah. And it seems like she doesn't know of a Flash on her Earth. So Supergirl seems to be like a Krypton. We know about like Clark Kent. Batman is definitely on her Earth as well. Like, because they've confirmed, like they've made references to like Gotham City and Batman. But there's also Bruce Wayne in like Arrow and Flash's Earth. So like the thing about being on multiple Earths is there could be like different versions of the characters. That's what we know. There's doppelgangers.
So I guess quick question. Do you think they should have Melissa Benoist as an alternate version of Supergirl on the show? Like maybe there's some slight differences or alterations, maybe a haircut or a different costume or something?
Here's my thing. I think Black Lightning is interesting because if they want to, if like, let's say hypothetically they want to end Arrow, Flash, Legends, Supergirl, Black Lightning could be the DC universe we all wanted. Where there's like, heroes are like on that Earth doing their thing. Yeah. There's not like the separation of all these, like there's people that aren't very pleased with Supergirl and Superman and Martian Manhunter being on another Earth. Like, and I totally understand that. Like, I've come to like not mind it, but like I understand that. But Black Lightning could be the future of the DC TV, the Black Lightning verse, I'll call it, could be the future of the DC TV universe if they wanted it to. You know, because I found it interesting that like I feel like they kind of went out of their way to be like Vixen and Supergirl. Like we know where those characters lie. Yeah, it could be an Easter egg, and I don't necessarily think it's a bearing on the future of the Arrowverse or DC TV on the CW. But I'm like, that alone establishes that those characters are in that world. And he's made references to like Black Lightning made a joke about the bat signal when he gave Detective Henderson. I don't know if he's a detective or not. I'm just gonna call him Henderson. Yeah. He gave him his phone. He was like, "Oh, you can call that the black symbol or something like that." You know what I mean? Like, so there's potential for Batman in there too, even though there's so many different ways it could go. 'Cause there's like an Outsiders comic that they showed, which was weird because it's like, are the Outsiders real or is that just a comic book? So like, I don't know. But I think the idea of Black Lightning being sort of like this Earth where maybe there are super characters and it's not weird, you know, maybe that's the thing. Because if Supergirl's there, that means there's Kryptonians. That means there's aliens that the Black Lightning verse is aware of, right?
Yeah, true.
And I think that's interesting. That's more than I can say for the Arrowverse, where they were like shocked about like seeing Carol. They were like, what? Like the Arrow Flash verse, they're like, what is this? Like, who is this person? Meanwhile, they were just regularly throwing out Supergirl's name like that. That's some interesting stuff right there. I don't know what the future of DC TV holds, but that's interesting stuff for me personally for the future. We'll see. But I think Legends has been like phenomenal. That's my one that's got to stay this week as well. Legends has been a blessing, y'all. I ain't gonna front because like Arrow sort of lost its way a little bit this season. Flash has lost its way a little bit, and I'm like Legends picked it up, and you can go back to the videos. We were doo-dooing on Legends. We were not. Legends needs to fix something, and I agree. They did fix it. They stopped with the slapstick shenanigans of these episodes. Where it's like, hey, we're in a time period and we're acting like idiots. It's like, all right, enough. And you know, we seen some articles this week comparing what Legends is doing to like the Infinity Stones. Like they're basically doing their own version of Infinity War, which is a stretch, but I see the similarities with them collecting items and them sort of having a big bad who's like Thanos-like and Malice. So Legends has been firing on all cylinders. The character interaction has been great. The features by Constantine, even Wally West, although I have problems with him, I think he's been cool. Thank you very much. Feel free to drop a like on this video. Also, feel free to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Join up with the Spectacular Spoiler League, guys, because we need you guys to help recruit more leaguers to the cause, baby. Also, turn on notifications so you can be up to date with the latest and greatest coming from the Spectacular Spoiler League, including these long-ass streams where we talk about random stuff that you guys ask us about. That's what it is, man. We love you guys a lot. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. As AMJ said in the chat, he always drops a link for our Discord server in the chat room. He always drops it in the comments under our videos, so feel free to check that out. Discord is a server where you can talk to us basically 24/7. It's like a text messaging, server room where you can talk with us. If you play games, we're into games too. We're super into video games. So, if you guys want to talk and chill with me and DeepBoyce all the time, that's pretty much where you can do it. But we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for all the love and support as always. DeepBoyce and I, we're heading out, man. Peace out.
Peace.